process has been great. Another component of working with Hennessy that was incredible is that I said, I really believe in having a charity component to a project. So there's a scholarship for a Rhode Island school design student. This is the school I went to, that can't afford to go there, that Hennessy is going to pay for a year of their schooling. And then Hennessy's also subsidizing my mural tour that I'm doing alongside of the promotion of the bottle and all the events around the bottle. But they didn't ask to be in any way dictating what the content of the murals are. They understand that I need my autonomy as an artist, and that it would not be faithful to my way of working and my philosophy to have to include Hennessy branding within my murals that are my democratic street art. But they understood that there's a harmonious connection between this project and what I do on the street, and they were willing to help me to do that. And really, I'm a music lover, so it's part of every day as I work. I'm listening to music. I love to go to shows. When I had more time, every good show that came to town, I would be at that show. It's also, the visceral side of live music really appeals to me. But I think in terms of how music relates to my art, the main thing is how democratic music is. It's a powerful medium in that you have an intense visceral response to the music itself, the beat, the melody, and then you pay attention to the lyrics. And so I try to make art that I think works on the same principle. If you take a Public Enemy or a Clash, or a Dylan or a Bob Marley, and you look at how the music itself is really strong, but then what they have to say is so incredibly powerful. It's a multi-sensory, heart and head experience. And I think that art should be as democratic as music, and it should operate on those principles. That if you make something that people are seduced by visually, you're squandering an opportunity to say something if you decide that it should just be decorative. Of course, I'm very biased towards that approach, and it's not. Yeah, the Obama piece, and we're here in Chicago, so hopefully he's got a couple fans still in the room. But however you feel about Obama now, it's complicated for me too. But in that moment, the way I created the piece as a poster in the same vein as any poster that I would do, which is incorporating my art sensibility with my political sensibility, and using art as a tool of grassroots activism. I did not create that piece in collaboration with the campaign. First of all, after 16 arrests for street art, I didn't think that they necessarily want to be associated with me. So I did have a friend, though, that knew some people within the campaign. And, this was, I started working on the piece right around the time of Iowa. And a lot of people said to me, don't bother, Obama's going to be crushed by, the Hillary Clinton juggernaut. But I thought this guy is inspiring to me. I've made a lot of art that's against the Iraq War, against the agenda of the Patriot Act, the Bush agenda, against George Bush himself. If I'm going to do work like that's critiquing, if someone is moving in the opposite direction, at least hypothetically, I should have the courage to support that person, even if it doesn't seem like it really jives with my rebel image or my history. But it's so rare to find someone in mainstream politics that aligns with me politically and philosophically that I thought, this is a moment I must seize. So I created the poster based on the idea that Obama, the critique of Obama was he wasn't established enough. So I wanted to make basically a two-dimensional sculpture. So when you see someone who's a statue and they have some sort of poise and dignity in their presentation, it seems to establish them. I felt like presenting Obama as established, as having vision, as being a patriot was important. So that was the rationale for the design. And I wanted to, using the colors, I wanted to be patriotic, but I also, didn't use the exact red, white, and blue you usually see as sort of meshed it with my color palette. And because I also thought it was important to make it a cool enough image to excite the usually disenfranchised, younger people. And so finding the balance of making it mainstream enough to not frighten people that are on the fence about how they feel about Obama, but cool enough to maybe become something that progressive people would perpetuate. That was the goal, and that was all theoretical, and it just worked beyond what I could have ever expected or could have imagined. Visual art and creative writing and fashion and performing arts, these are all things that allow people to express something that they might feel better expressing through an art form than they would be just verbalizing in any other way. I think that human beings have evolved to where they have, and culture and society and civilization itself have evolved to where they have because people were willing to experiment and try things and express themselves, and that so that has benefits that are far beyond art product.